We're catching up with the irreverent Cody Jinks about his brand new album, Mercy, which he recorded at the Sonic Ranch. He locked the band in the studio for 12 hours a day for 30 days, and this is the result. We're also gonna chat about being a honky-tonk band at heart and how much fun it is to mess with fans and mess with people's expectations. I love when an artist is thinking about sequence and thinking about the story that they're taking the listener on, and I think that's such a love letter to a fan.
I'm 40 years old, 41 years old this year, and this one's been the toughest one to sequence by far.
That's interesting. Like, I wonder if is it because, like, why? Why do you think?
There was such a separation of the types of songs, because like they take the title track, Mercy, which is this very, very understated, beautiful love song, very in the vein of, like, mid 80s Randy Travis. Not a lot going on, and then there's a couple of other songs on there like that as well. But then you have the ones like How It Works and in Hurricane, and we did change it up a little bit this time. We put some more rock and stuff on there, but at the end of the day, I was a bar band getting started, and we're really just a honky-tonk band because it's elements of country, which that's predominantly that, but there's elements of blues and there's elements of rock and roll.
I think what y'all did the last time around with this week apart release of double albums was, like, I don't know if it was intentionally, like, contrarian, but, like, even as a band that doesn't do what's expected, we're gonna not do what's expected. So, like, what did you learn out of that to get to here?
Screwing with people's fun, and I think I already knew that beforehand, but we knew that we were screwing with people whenever we dropped that record, dropped The Wanting and After the Fire a week apart. We knew exactly what we were doing.
What do you think? How are you messing with people this time around?
Because when this record drops, you're going to have a lot of people going, there's too much rock on it. And we're prepared for that. But as a band, we had so much fun making this record that, yeah, there's some rock and roll on it. If you don't like that song, I'm sorry. Maybe listen to the words. You might dig it after you listen to the words and you get over the raging guitar or whatever. But then the next song is going to be something slowed and low key, and you need to turn it up because it's just, like I said, it's a roller coaster, and that's how we screwed with people, and we're always going to. But the end game is trying to make a great record. I'm not trying to make a record where there's 2, 3, 4 singles that we can work with. That's not the point. That's never been the point with me. I've always tried to go in and make a full record, something that you can put on the table or whatever, put your needle on it, or just hit play and let it go.
I love hearing about stories about the Sonic Ranch, the place, the acreage, the buildings. I know that's a special place to you, and you've made a lot of records there, but, like, how do we hear that record? How do we hear that place on this record?
We're working 12 hours a day out there, and we work 12 hours a day, and this last time we were out there for 30 days. And I think we only took 2 whole days off, where, like, nobody did anything. At some other point, there was somebody constantly working the other 28 days. But that's what you go out there to do. You can't go anywhere. You're in the middle of the desert on the Mexico line. You literally cannot go down the street to 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven is 20 minutes, 25 minutes away. Then if you want anything more than that, you got to go into El Paso, and that's 45 minutes away. So we don't leave. I've been doing this for a long time. And the thing about songs and songwriting is that the people want to hear what you have to say as long as it's to music. Whenever people start going, well, you punched your ticket, or you got what you wanted, or, all the things that, you've asked for this, and, all this kind of stuff. And you're sitting there thinking, no, and I'm not doing anything that I normally did, but you can't say anything about it. And you have to be above reproach at all times, because if you fire back and say, hey, I was just, speaking my mind, the trolls they want to hear your music, but they don't want to hear your opinion. It's like, well, you can't hear my music and not hear my opinion or hear what I'm going through. So you just want me to sing songs and shut up. And, Brent Cobb, his shut up and sing off his last record, dude. I'm like, man, like you nailed it on that one, buddy, because they want to hear what you have to say as long as the music's going. And then otherwise, shut the fuck up, because you're going to have told in his underwears eating Cheetos, ripping your face, whatever, social media.
Well, that's, what's funny. It's interesting. It's like you can be a little, I think we have permission to be a little adversarial if we are singing it instead of saying it. Like, part of me was wondering on that same theme, like in How It Works, who's that written to? Is that to a naysayer? Is that to somebody who's that audience?
It was absolutely written to the naysayers. How It Works was written after my wife and I got in an argument. My wife and I have been together for 24 years. Actually, she was at the first show I ever played when I was 17 years old in a little whole bar in outside of Haltom City, Texas. Fast forward to our early 40s, 2 kids later, 17 years worth of marriage. She's been through all of this. We basically got into an argument over a router cord. She's stressed out because I'm at home and I'm stressed out, and she's just trying to help me, and I'm being a huge asshole. And I know this, and I know that I'm not the easiest person to work for. That's why she says she's my wife and not somebody that works for me. But she was trying very hard, and she got so mad, and I got so mad. And I just stormed off, and I went to my office, and I wrote How It Works. And I wrote that about her, but I wrote that to the naysayers that, they said we'd never make it, and they still wonder how it works. And, it's just like, you need to know that she still drives me crazy in every good way. Ain't nobody else on earth gets to me the way she moves me, and it's, I don't know. Maybe I had to write her a really sexy, pretty love song because I felt like I was an ass that day. I don't know. So
did she like it?
She loves it. Yeah. And actually, whenever I wrote that song, I called my manager and I called him. I said, "Hey, dude, like I wrote this song, but it's not a country song. It's a pop song. I mean, really, And I said, like, I want like Bruno Mars or The Weeknd to sing this. It's like, how do I get a hold of? I don't know how I get a hold of Bruno Mars or The Weeknd, Giants, But I'm like, track down Bruno Mars or The Weeknd and let's pitch this song. I was like, it's sexy. It's a dance song. It'll make people move. And he just goes, Jinks, you're singing that song. I was like, okay, all right.